person may lose his iman at the time of his death. Number one, laziness in performing salah. How many of us fail to perform the 5 days salah? We think to ourselves, चलो एक ही नमाज है ना, कोई बात नहीं, कज़ा कर लेंगे, बाद में पढ़ लेंगे, कोई बात नहीं, देखी जाएगी. That is again the shaitan whisper. Shaitan will whisper to you, now look, it's only one namaz. It doesn't matter. And in UK in the coming months, as the days get longer, shaitan's going to be whispering at you more. यार ईशा बहुत लेट है, सुबह पढ़ लेना कज़ा, सुबह काम पे जाना ना, फजर पे जल्दी जल्दी कैसे हो सकता है, मैं कज़ा पढ़ लूँगा बाद में. These are all going to be shaitan's whispers that are going to come to you. Shaitan's going to come to you and he's going to say, look, you've got a hard day tomorrow. You've got an exam tomorrow. You've got a long hours tomorrow. Have a line. Read your namaz when you get up. It's okay, it doesn't matter. Qaza par lente. And that is shaitan's trick. Because shaitan knows if he can get you to miss 1, he'll get you to miss 2. And if he gets you to miss 2, he'll get you to miss 5. And if he gets you to miss 5, then he's got you. And this is all of shaitan's plan. So we need to make sure that we are not lazy in our salah. We need to make sure that we don't miss any of our salah. We need to make sure that we read our salah on time. And we need to make sure that we read our salah with jamaat. Number 2, the unfortunate act that that person, if he performs, he runs the risk of losing his iman at the end of his life, is if he consumes alcohol. Unfortunately today we see many of our youngsters, they don't openly consume alcohol, but many of our youngsters are still buying alcohol. They think it's the part of the crowd. If they've got a pack of Sax Pack in the back of the car, they think that this is what we need to do to be able to be part of the crowd, that we need to be taking weed, we need to be smoking cannabis, we need to be taking heroin, we need to be taking alcohol, because we are part of the gang. My dear Islam brothers, that is another topic, but this is one of the reasons that enables you to lose your iman at the end of your life. Number 3, if a person is disobedient to his parents, he runs the risk at the end of his life of losing his iman. How many of us are disobedient to our parents? Allah Azza wa Jalla says in the Quran, don't even say to me. And yet nowadays, when our parents ask us to do something, oh, I'm busy, let me finish this off, I want to play this game, let me finish this PlayStation game, let me do this one, Mom, you don't do this, Mom, you do that. And then, what is even worse sometimes, because our parents, they came from Pakistan, they came from India, they don't understand English, we think we are being clever when we swear at them. ऐसे भी बच्चे देखें जो अपने वालिदैन के सामने गाली निकालते हैं क्योंकि वो सोचते हैं हमारे वालिदैन को इंग्लिश नहीं आती, पंजाबी आती, उर्दू आती, तो इनके सामने हम गाली दे दें, कोई बात नहीं, इनको कोई समझ नहीं आती. We think we're being clever. हम अपने आप को बड़ा अक्लमंद समझते हैं कि हमारे वालिदैन को हमारी गाली नहीं समझती. They don't understand what we are saying. लेकिन याद रखें, Allah Azza wa Jalla understands. Allah Azza wa Jalla understands every single word you are saying. आप अपने वालिदैन के, you make a fool of your parents. But now you cannot make a fool of Allah Azza wa Jalla. Allah Azza wa Jalla tells us in the Quran in so many places, worship Allah Azza wa Jalla. We know how important it is to worship the one God. Allah Azza wa Jalla says, worship Allah Azza wa Jalla and be kind to your parents. Worship Allah Azza wa Jalla and respect your parents. Worship Allah Azza wa Jalla and look after your parents. But nowadays we think we know more than our parents. My dear Islam brothers, कई दफ़ा ऐसा भी होता है कि हमारे वालिदैन हमारे मसाइल नहीं समझते. They don't understand us. हो सकता है हमारे वालिदैन पाकिस्तान से, इंडिया से, गांव से आए, हो सकता है. उनको नहीं पता चल रहा कि यूके, मैनचेस्टर में, लंदन में क्या हो रहा है. They don't understand this. Maybe this is the case. But that still does not give you a right to disrespect your parents. They don't understand you. They don't know what your problems are. They don't know anything about you. You must respect your parents. And if you don't, you run the risk of losing your iman at the end of the close to you. Number 4, causing harm to fellow Muslims. कई दफ़ा ऐसा होता है कि हमने कोई डील किया किसी के साथ, हम अपने अक्लमंदी समझते कि ये सादा बंदा है, मैं इसके साथ चालाकी कर सकता हूँ, मैं 100 पाउंड, 50 पाउंड, 200 पाउंड ज्यादा बना सकता हूँ, ये सादा बंदा है, चालाकी तो कम ही इसके साथ. 200 pound bana diye. You fiddled him, but are you going to try and fiddle Allah on the day of judgment? You caused harm to your fellow Muslim. Nowadays we don't care. हमें परवाह ही नहीं है. If we cause harm to a fellow Muslim, as long as I'm alright. You know, there's a saying in English, I'm alright, Jack. As long as I'm alright, don't care about him. वो भले डूब जाए, मुझे क्या है? I'm alright. मैं तो ठीक हूँ ना. मुझे तो पैसे मिल गए. I'm okay. No, should not be like this. एक बहुत मशहूर वाक़या है that in the streets of Medina, somebody came into somebody's shop and said to him that I want this material. मुझे ये कपड़ा चाहिए. मुझे ये क्वांटिटी चाहिए. मुझे ये क्वालिटी चाहिए. लेकिन मैं दूंगा इतना. दुकान वाले ने कहा कि I have that quantity. I have that quality. I have that price. I can give you at that price as well. But my dear Islamic brother, opposite me there is a shop. He also sells clothes. All day, कोई गाहक उनके पास नहीं है. मेरी तो आज बिक्री हुई. आप उनसे जाकर करो. आज अगर हमारी दुकान में कोई आए और कहें ठीक है जी आपका तो माल देख लिए, हम जाके दूसरों को देखते हैं. हम कहते हैं नहीं उसके पास नहीं जाना, वो 2 नंबरी है. वो सही माल नहीं देगा. वो आपके साथ चलाकी करेगा. वो ये करेगा, वो करेगा. झूठ बोला, गीबत किया, तौबत लगाई, कितने गुनाह किए हमने. किस लिए? 2 पैसे. Causing harm to a fellow Muslim may result in you losing your iman at the end of your time. It is stated in Minhaj al-Abidin that Sayyidina Fuzail bin Ayaz radiyallahu ta'ala once visited one of his disciples, and his disciple was near to his death. He sat next to his disciple and began to recite Surah Yasin. The disciple said, stop reading Surah Yasin. He then instructed his disciple, his student, to read the kalma. But his student replied, I will never read this kalma. I have nothing to do with this kalma. And he died saying these words. Sayyidina Fuzail bin Ayaz radiyallahu ta'ala was very saddened that his student had died in this way. And he cried for many days. And then one day he saw him in a dream, and he saw that he was being dragged to the hellfire by the angels. And he said to his student, what is the reason for this? You were such a good student. You were such a good student. Why is it that at the time of your death you uttered these words? And why is it that now you are being dragged to the hellfire? And he said, it was because I have 3 bad habits. Number 1, I used to tell tales. I used to tell my friends something and I used to tell you something else. The second, it was jealousy. I was jealous of my friends, of what they had. And the third is because of alcohol. A doctor told me, I had a certain illness, and a doctor told me that if you have 1 glass of alcohol a year, then you will not have that illness. And because of these 3 reasons, I lost my iman at the time of death. Sadly, afsoos, telling tales has become so popular, so common nowadays. We pass on messages, we find out as soon as हम किसी महफिल में बैठते हैं, हम चाहते हैं कि कुछ हमें कुछ पता चल जाए. इसके बारे में पता चल गया, उसको जाके बताते हैं. We think we got something. As soon as we hear something, हम वो याद रखते हैं. क्या ताकि दूसरे महफिल में हम जाके बैठ सकते हैं और लोगों को स्टोरी सुना सकते हैं. मेरे पास एक स्टोरी है. I found something out. I know something new that you don't know. लेकिन क्या-क्या गुनाह करें we don't know. Telling tales, false allegations, backbiting, finding faults with others. And the Prophet of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that the people who backbite, they use false allegations, tell tales and find faults with innocent people, they will arise on the day of judgment in the form of dogs. And the Prophet of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in another hadith has said that the person who tells tales, he will not enter paradise. Now please come with this. We need to know what telling tales is. Qtv Hajjaj. What is it? The definition of telling tales